Good morning, everyone. How are you doing this morning? You know how we do. As we enter the room, say hello. Drop a comment in the chat to let me know you're here. If you're catching this by the replay, hashtag replay, I greet everybody who has entered the room, catching it live, or has catched the replay. Now, we know how Facebook does. You have to give the system access to your name. So if you don't, all it does is show user. I don't know who you are, so I can't greet you by name. I know it's a funky thing, but anyway. So with that said, hello everyone. How are you doing? My name is Luciana Turner, for those of you who do not know who I am. And this is this morning's edition of the LT&A Contracting Chatter. For those who know me, you know this is not new. This is just the return. For those of you who are new to me, this is the premier source. I know everybody says that, but in this instance, it's true of government contracting and business information related to, we discuss industry information, legislation around government contracting, primarily business all the time. Why? Because government contractors are businesses. I don't know why people tend to disconnect the two, but they go hand in hand. So I am your host. I have 20 plus years experience working in the government contracting industry as a compliance officer. I ensure that your actions and the actions of your corporate officers stay in line with the regulations which governs your entities. And that's just a fancy way of saying that you do what you say you're going to do and you do what you're supposed to do at all times. Because when you don't do what you say you're supposed to do, and in accordance with the rules and regulations which govern you, there are these little things called penalties, interest, and fees that will shut your business down if you are egregious enough. So, therefore, now that you know who I am and we have set the intentions, I know somebody is saying, why does she go live so early in the morning? Well, that's government contracting for you. I go live early primarily because a lot of the content and a lot of the information I bring to you, I listen to Senate hearings. And a lot of the Senate hearings start very early in the morning. And what I found when I went live later, it ran in conflict to a lot of the hearings I was reporting on. So I always had to postpone. It was just a mess. And besides that, I was an early riser because that's what I did in corporate. So the replays are always available on my YouTube channel, which is LT&A Consulting Group. They also stay up on my page roughly 30 days until I take them down. But they're always available on my YouTube channel. Since this is day one of the return of the chatter, I just wanted to set the intentions a little bit, set the atmosphere of the room, kind of set the do's and don'ts. I'm always open to suggestions. There are of topics to cover. I scurry legislation, FAR updates, SAMS updates, anything I feel is of importance, IRS, etc., to my community. This is not a political platform. Now, I will be covering the upcoming elections because, as business owners, elections impact our companies and our businesses. for the particular reason that who our elected officials are and the overall arching election cycle does affect the flow of contracts. So I will, from time to time, let you know the ins and outs of election cycles. There are contracts related to elections, audit contracts, contracts around delivery of goods and services, things of that nature. But this is not a political platform, and I do not allow political punditing on my platform. When I give an opinion, I will clearly state it's an opinion. When I'm given a strategic analysis, I clearly state it's a strategic analysis. I'm clear on what I stand and what I'm saying on this platform and in this forum. My opinion is not important when it comes to my personal opinion, rather, is not important when it comes to you making a business decision. My strategic analysis is what you're looking for. So, with that said, I just wanted to drop this piece of information. The Sergeant at Arms is having a look ahead series tomorrow. The House Sergeant at Arms, because there's a Sergeant at Arms on the House side and the Senate side. And the House Sergeant at Arms is hosting a strategic plan for the 118th Congress. And what that essentially means, the Senate, the Sergeant at Arms is the person or the entity that keeps order within Congress. They set the schedule. They maintain the procurement. They're in charge of the overarching procurement for House. They are not necessarily the originator of all procurement in the House, but they are usually the overseer of procurement in the House. Catch what I'm saying. There's a distinction. They are beginning to host what they call a look ahead series. And that's beginning tomorrow. I believe it was 11 a.m. Now, for those who live in the DMV, and that's the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, you can actually attend these live. You have to register. You can no longer just pop up on the Hill. Since 9/11, some things have changed. For those of us who do not live in the DMV area, I'm not sure if they're streaming this. I'm going to have to go online and poke around a little bit. However, if you're in the DMV, I suggest you go. And I suggest if you're visiting the area, and if you can, and I actually suggest every government contractor visit the DC area at some point in time in your contracting career. And I suggest you attend some of the appropriation committee hearings so that you get a feel. And this may seem like I'm off topic, but walk with me. You get a feel for our appropriations procedures. Too many of you, and I'm talking to the newbies, that's those who've only been in the industry for less than 5 years. Government contracting is only proposal, writing, and response. And there's so much more to it. I would suggest attending an appropriations meeting, even in your local level. Those meetings are typically open to the public. I would suggest attending and get a feel for what the whole process is, how the budget is actually passed, so you can get a grasp of it and appreciation for what the whole appropriation process is like. You will gain so much knowledge as a taxpayer and as a contractor. There's so much you would gain from that. But back to what I was saying. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, the House Sergeant at Arms is having a strategic planning session for the 118th Congress. It's part of their what they call Look Ahead series that I would suggest that you pop in and see what they're talking about. So that's all for this morning's installment of Contracting Chatter. Like I said, today's session was basically just to set the intention. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. As I said, a stressed mind, as I always say, a stressed mind can never create. Take some time today and decompress. Go for a walk, read a book, walk, just step away from whatever it is you're doing. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next installment of Contracting Chatter. This is Luciana Turner, your host. Have an amazing, amazing day.